Welcome to My Two Cents with Ellis Rodriguez, and today your boy's going to be responding to his very first viewer request. Now, in the premiere episode in the comments, Menlo Heavyweight writes, and I quote, "Whoop-de-whoop, give me your 2 cents on the divisive politics and its unholy union with social media." Objection, Your Honor, leading the witness. But I do like this question, okay? Because you're talking about politics, social media. That's right in my wheelhouse. I'm all over that, like Claire Crawley on Dale Moss. And the light skin strikes again. That's right, everybody duck and cover, cause your boy's putting rounds down range. Snowflakes, blam! One in the pink. MAGA, blam, blam! Two in the stink. Tupac would be rolling over in his hammock in Cuba if I didn't take out my fofo and make sure all your bipartisan bullshit don't grow. All I need in this life of sin is me and my girlfriend.
This episode of My Two Cents with Ellis Rodriguez was brought to you by Beef Curtains, the key to Rocky Balboa's training regimen and irresistible double entendre.
We talking politics, so everybody pinky swear that you won't get offended. And even if you do, so what? No, I mean seriously, so what? When did Americans get so emotionally weak that we can't be offended or disagreed with? Most of the time in my life, when there was an idea I disagreed with the most, I couldn't understand the other side until I was offended. We should all seek to be offended more often. So prepare to get offended and keep your sense of humor about it. Like, for instance, check out this photo taken way back in the civil rights movement. Now look closely. You see what I see? Right there. That's your mom's. Now, for the record, I'm not trying to change your political beliefs because I'm not stupid. And I realize these days nobody ever changes their mind about anything political. You are red or you are blue. It is ruining family dinners, because when the word politics even comes up, it might as well be a Family Feud episode with the Bloods and the Crips. I'm looking at you, elephants. I'm looking at you, donkeys. The divisiveness is killing us, and the country is more separated than we've ever been before.
The most dramatic example of this mutual hostility is this. Back in 1960, only 5% of Republicans and 4% of Democrats said they'd be displeased if a child married someone from the other major party. Half a century later, half of Republicans and more than a third of Democrats said yes, they would be somewhat or very unhappy. What makes this tribalism particularly dangerous is that it has grown at a time when one of America's core convictions, the worth of a free society, has eroded, especially among the young. They're simply less and less convinced that living in a democracy is all that important.
Millennials. But let's be honest, how is democracy supposed to compete with TikTok? And politicians? We don't need them, by the way. No, we don't. We need mayors and governors and representatives and leaders, because what we have is problems, real problems. And I don't want to be an alarmist, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it. We need to stop John Cena before it's too late. At this point, he's just muscle and jawbone. But by the time he's become sentient, it's gonna be too late. And that's what talking politics should be about. Americans discussing their problems and what they want to do about it. But we're not. We're talking about the politicians and their rhetoric. Rhetoric. Like people who hate Antifa. What? Antifa is an idea that means anti-fascist. You're not anti-fascist? Are you pro-fa? Or did you think Antifa was referring to Vietnamese food? Rhetoric. People who hate Kaepernick, because Colin Kaepernick kneeling was disrespectful to the troops. He was kneeling for the troops. He was sitting down in protest, and a service member said that that was disrespectful and he should at least kneel for the troops. But then they twist it all around, and suddenly he's being disrespectful. About police brutality, by the way. Talk about hindsight being 2020, but I think he did that in 2016. So I still support Colin Kaepernick. He even bought the Colin Kaepernick Nike knee pads. It only comes with one. Oh, and hey there, Democrats. Must be nice sitting on your big old high horse. Because Trump might be the most divisive president in my lifetime. But I'm sorry to say the second most was probably Barack Obama. Sorry, Barry. I don't even think it's your fault. But as much as people loved Barack Obama, the Fox News and the gang hated him. And in my opinion, Trump is a direct result of that. And if he's so awful, how come the Democrats can't beat him? Because you ran Hillary Clinton. A lot of people hate Hillary Clinton. And I'm just because they're going to different, not even going to their state, calling them deplorables, wearing pantsuits that make her look like Suge Knight while you throw Bernie under the bus. And even this time going around, you're telling me a weekend at Biden's is the best you can do? What happened to Andrew Yang? I like Yang. This dude had answers for questions that the other politicians hadn't even thought of. And my man couldn't even get his name spelled correctly in the news. Alright? And I want to answer the whole question. So how does this manifest in social media? It's third grade digitized peer pressure. It's propaganda on crack. It's a mob of angry people screaming all the time that you're molded, corroded, and that your booty's exploded. You know, from the adults in the room, all right? And when it comes to media and social media and all that, I think Orson Welles was off by about 20 years and really underestimated how popular Big Brother was going to be. You know, there's like 22 seasons of that. Now, you can't possibly truly believe that everything your side says is right and that everything that the other side says is wrong. And no matter what side you're on, you realize you can't beat them, right? You realize that there is no them. It's just us, Americans, in this together. And we need to stop unfriending our family members just because they have some silly ideas. You're just isolating them in an echo chamber, and that's all they're going to hear from now on. There's a lot of good conservative people. There's a lot of good liberal people. And if we get to talking to each other, I think we'll realize we do want pretty much the same things. It's just maybe the conservatives are just a little slow. And the progressives, they're just way too fast. They want it yesterday. We need to kind of come up with a compromise. And I hope what we all want for ourselves and each other is life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's my 2 cents. My name is Ellis Rodriguez. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, gripes, or complaints, or a topic you want my 2 cents on, please leave it below. And that's the show. Yang Gang 2024. Yang Gang. Yang, 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 yang. Melida, I'm leaving.
No!
No. Yes.